Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to
Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
All right, we're switching things around today because we've got a guest early in the show. Brent Zwerneman going to join us.
Former co-worker of mine.
Yeah, he's got some kid stuff to do, so he won't be in studio, so we'll get him on the phone, but looking forward to catching up with him this morning. But welcome into TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and this is the Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. And typically, we hang out over there.
Yeah.
The Holistic Planning.
Cool Zone.
Cool Zone. Jason Barber sent me this, by the way. He goes, any new clients from TexAgs that sign up by November the 27th will receive this offer. If the Aggies do beat the Longhorns in Austin on November the 28th, clients will pay no management fees to Holistic Planning for the entire 2026 calendar year.
All right.
So, Holistic Planning. Check them out. They'll take great care of you. All right, OB.
Yep.
Let's talk about three things we want to see brought to you by the Brazos Running Company, your local Aggie-owned specialty running store where you can find Brooks, On, and Hoka shoes, located at Century Square below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station.
I want to see the Aggies run the football the way, you know. They're going to have to be a running team this year. I love the explosiveness in the passing game, but you're going to have to run. So I want to see them go out there and emphasize the run some and show what kind of running team they are. I want to see that big pass rush that I didn't see last week, but I think that had more to do with UTSA, like Notre Dame last year, just getting rid of the ball.
Right.
And, man, I want to see more KC Concepcion, more just more of that passing game that was so good and explosive. I don't want to just say KC and Mario, Super Mario Craver, but also, you know, Ashton Bethel Roman and Marcel Reed looking so good. So I just want to see more of that passing game.
Yeah, I'm going to make it very simple. By the way, I'm looking at the rundown, and I don't see Brent Zwerneman on my rundown. I'm a little confused, but he's on the show. Things that I want to see. Traditional football, the running backs playing like grown men, right? Like I want to see them establish the run. We don't have to have Le'Veon and Reuben get 20 carries each. I'm not saying that, but when we want to run the ball, we run the ball.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see that. I want to see no big plays, right? No big plays on the defensive side. Do not give up. I would love to see them on the offensive side, but no big plays.
Define big play.
Anything more than 15 yards.
Okay.
Yeah? I mean, you're going to...
When I covered Texas, Mac Brown, I don't know why I came up with 17.
Okay, we can go 17.
But I always used to say 20.
20. You know what it looks like, okay? If you have a chance to stop them behind the line of scrimmage and they turn it into a 12-yard play, that's a big play in my eyes. If you give up a big run because there's a misfit, that's a big play.
Yeah.
80 yards or 30 yards or 9 yards. Make the freaking play.
How about just no misfits?
Yeah. No, so that means none of us. Because we are some misfits, buddy.
I've been that my whole life. I'm on the island of misfits.
So this is a game of opposites, right, that I'm doing. Because I don't want to give up big plays. But how about wide receivers that torch Utah State the way they torched UTSA?
Yeah, I want to see it. You know what? I want to see more of the passing game, but you know what? I want to see more of the downfield completions. No, don't get me wrong. I love those wide receiver screens that, you know, short passes that turn into long touchdowns. Love it, love it, love it. Love the screen. I mean the slant. But how about, you know, some of those way over the top bombs? I'd like to see. Almost got one. Almost had one.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not going to be mean. Because I've actually, I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't been mean to somebody in a long time.
No, you're
and I'm being serious. I'm not just.
So am I.
But SEC Mike, bro.
What'd he do? What'd he say?
God, bro. Like,
sometimes we like him, sometimes we don't.
No, I like him. Okay. He's a very friendly fellow. He's the kind of guy you go to picnic with. Not that I go to picnics with dudes or anybody. But he has Marcel as the 11th best quarterback last week.
Fine. Whatever.
But because I like to argue, he wasn't the 11th best quarterback.
No, I think he's much higher than that.
I mean, and I'd like to hear his thinking, because I listened to his show for a little bit. I was like, he's got to be trolling us, right? Now, he believes it.
Okay.
He said that, Marcel missed the big throw.
He missed one big throw, yeah.
Okay. Well, how about this? Did he throw any interceptions?
None.
How many touchdowns did he throw for?
4.
Okay. So far, the stats look good. Yeah, they do look good because they were good. Do you know that Lenore Sellers threw 2 interceptions?
Mm-hmm.
He was number 1 on his list.
Of course.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm not so sure that Marcel Reed didn't face a better defense than Lenore Sellers did.
Okay. The John Mateer, did he throw an interception? He did throw an interception.
He threw an interception to Illinois State?
Yeah. I'm getting angry as I'm thinking about it. I'm just playing. I'm not angry at all. So, no. You know who was number 13 on the list? It was Arch. So we're saying that Marcel Reed was just above Arch. Like, Mike, come on, bro. Like, you don't believe that. I'm not saying that.
Marcel also led his team in rushing.
Yes. So, and the fact that A&M didn't establish the run makes his numbers that more impressive.
Yeah, I thought Marcel was excellent.
Yeah, so he had, by the way, Austin Simmons. Who did he play?
Ole Miss played, I can't even remember. I know it's some
nobody
FCS opponent.
I'm pretty sure he threw 2 interceptions. Let me check.
Who'd you say? You're not on.
Georgia Southern.
It was Georgia Southern. Okay.
I think so. It was.
Or Georgia State.
Georgia State, I think.
Okay, it's not an FCS team, but yeah, it's.
Sorry, Lenore Sellers did not throw an interception. He had 4 sacks. He was sacked 4 times. A&M, please. But I was right about Austin Simmons, who threw 2 interceptions. How many times was Marcel sacked?
None.
Okay. I should save this for later.
Lenoris did have the long touchdown pass late, about 7.5 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. I think until then, didn't that? I don't remember his numbers right. Didn't he only throw for about 230 yards?
Yeah.
And like,
he was good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, let's just be even here, guys.
Yeah. Almost a third of them came on one play late.
I think Gunnar Stockton was in his top 5.
Okay. Against Marshall.
At least Marcel could find Noah Thomas.
Well, maybe Noah was just so well covered and
anyway,
wasn't open. Maybe he wasn't getting separation.
I should save a lot. He's probably listening and he's already writing his comebacks to me. But I don't know. I just the Marcel slander has got to come to a stop in America.
I understand, but I don't care. All I want is Marcel to go out and keep playing like he played last week. You can rank him anywhere you want. Just play like you played last week.
You win by double digits every game. I'll be very happy, to be honest with you, OB.
And you know what? As well as he played, I think there's significant room to improve.
I agree.
And I think he'll show improvement.
You want to get your trusty little article out and talk about some players what we want to watch in this game, OB, because there are some players that are intriguing. We just did Marcel, so maybe we move on to somebody else. OB, why don't we go with Ruben Owens?
Well, why not? Why not? Why don't they go to Ruben Owens quite a bit? He had that 30-yard run, and that gave us a flash of what we always thought we would see with him. Saw a little, just flashes as a freshman, and of course he was hurt last year. Ruben has that big play potential. He has that explosiveness. He can run with power, but he's the guy most likely to rip off a long run. And I think we'll see more of that. as the season progresses. I think you'll see longer runs, probably this week than that third. He broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage on that play, by the way, or kind of stepped out of it. Guy had his hands around his ankle, and he just powered through that and then turned it into a 30-yard run. So, yeah, Reuben Owens.
This made me laugh. Chase in Houston. SEC Mike thinks the hot dog is a sandwich. Sorry. Just made me laugh. Somebody on this show thought that was the case. All right, we move on to Mario Craver.
Okay. Super Mario Craver. Just, he showed that, again, you can throw it short to him. All he has to do is get a block. Give him one block, just a little bit of space, and he's going to outrun people to the end zone. All right, we've seen that. What I want to see from him now is those downfield catches. And I know he can do it. He did it against Georgia. Or you're going to maybe pump fake that to him and throw to the guy who's supposed to be blocking for him.
Right.
I could see that happen. You can do all kinds. When you have speed like Mario Craver gives you and explosiveness, you can do a lot of other things off that. But I would think that we're going to see a lot more from Mario what we saw last week. Just because he may be, if not the fastest guy on the field, one of them. And you want to get the ball in his hands anywhere you can.
Albert Regis,
we talked all offseason about how he was the most reliable, steadiest guy in the, maybe not most spectacular, but most reliable, steady guy in that defensive line. And then last week, I thought he was more than reliable. I mean, he was out making plays, not just taking up blockers. Didn't he have a sack? If not a sack, it was a tackle for loss. I just thought that he was really good, like you've come to expect from Albert Regis. And I think that, especially a team, don't mean to disparage Utah State, but a team that I think is physically overmatched is going to have a real problem with Albert Regis.
Let's talk about their quarterback, Bryson Barnes.
Barney. Yeah. Hey, we've talked about it too. I when I saw his name, I kept thinking, I know that name. Why do I know that name? And then, so of course, why? I asked
why.
And I went back to try to find out. And I went, oh yeah, he started that upset victory for Utah over Florida in the season opener 2 years ago. Yeah. And he was pretty good. So I did further diving into what he's done. And I've seen that one game he was I think it was against San Diego State. He was the Mountain West Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week. He had like 300 yards passing and ran for a whole lot of yards and just a great game. So he has this ability. He's thrown for 200 yards plus 5 times in his career. Now, he's been in and out of the lineups and moving around.
Yep.
But he has ability, no doubt. If you don't want to sleep on him. But, again, I think he's going to face one of the more difficult challenges. I think that I'll go so far as to say that the defense he'll face against A&M was better than the defense he faced against Florida when he was at Utah.
I agree with that.
And maybe the talent around him at Utah was better than than he has now, of course.
Before we stop and drop, let's talk about Brock Lane, their tight end, because I have visions of what we saw last year against Bowling Green, a tight end who can make big plays. Last week for them, he had a 52-yard touchdown. And let's see, he looks like he caught 19 passes, 197 yards.
Yeah, last year. And then I think the year before that, he had 21. He's been like an honorable mention, all-MAC guy. Real smart guy. He's been one of those guys in, academic all-conference and things like that. So he's that. I think the difference between him and what was that kid's name last year for Bowling Green? He was a really good player.
I can't remember his name right now, yeah.
Harold Fannin Jr.
There you go.
Fannin.
HFJ.
How did I forget Fannin? I mean, that's a Texas hero. But anyway, that hence the name of the town, Fannindale. But anyway, that guy could catch the ball short and outrun people. And I don't think that, from what I've been able to ascertain, that Brock is that kind of guy. Now, he did have a 52-yard touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did not.
All right. Now, look, kid's got good hands and everything. Barnes had like like 10 seconds in the pocket to throw it.
Yeah.
And he's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and looking and looking. And finally, he just launches it. And Brock has gotten, and it's Bureau C, has gotten open in the end zone. Everybody, yeah. And he catches a touchdown. Nobody's around him.
Yeah.
It was not exact because there was a lot of people down there. It wasn't like I'm having a senior moment. KC Concepcion being wide open and nobody else is there.
Right.
He was wide open with people within like 10 yards away from him. So, hey, he got down there and made the catch. I just don't think he's that guy that's going to catch the ball and run away from somebody, but he can definitely run routes, get open, and he's going to catch it if you get it close to him.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, what do you do?
Well, you call us up or text us on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending hotline, and that number is 979.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 693.
Yeah, so far so
1150.
There you go. By the way, I'm going to need Buppy to stop coming because I'm going to just keep eating when he comes, right?
Yeah, I am. That was amazing.
It was so good.
He's 2 for 2 at TexAgs.
Like, can I bro a guy named Buppy?
Yeah, you can bro Buppy.
Come on, man. Like, the food's too good. All right, we will kind of go around the room and say hi to the people because we got to kind of make sure that we stay on point. We go behind the glass and we say hi to Nick Savage, who was certainly ready for me to come to him. Hey, Nick, good morning, buddy.
Howdy, good morning, y'all. And I'll keep it short because I don't have much to say. Excited about this weekend. And, OB, your article, their linebacker, John Miller, posted some good numbers last week. So that's somebody that I'm going to keep my eye on, and obviously you do too. So should be a fun game.
I think he had 10, 11 tackles last week.
10 total tackles, 1 sack, and tackle and a half for loss.
Yeah.
All right, we go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Reese, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
I'm well, thank you. Tell us something good.
The Aggie soccer team remains undefeated after last night's 0-0 draw.
What did Coach G call it, though? Was it disappointing or?
Yeah, something along those lines. 0-0 draw with SFA last night. A&M did own a 25-9 edge in shots, including 8-4 in shots on goal.
Unfortunate.
But at least he didn't compare it. He didn't use like a Guy Morris line to describe his the tie, the disappointment of a tie. So
yeah,
we got that going for us.
We do got that. What else do you have for us?
Do you remember what Guy Morris said?
I do remember that. Yeah,
okay. I don't want to repeat it.
I covered Guy.
It's pretty hate.
The number 10 Texas A&M volleyball team swept number 21 Utah for its second ranked win of the year Thursday evening, winning 25-19, 25-23, and 25-18.
True story. I watched more of that than the Cowboys game.
I did not.
I watched the Cowboys game for a little while. The Jalen Carter situation, what was – it was disgusting. It was gross. Fine. But do they have beef from before that I don't know about?
I don't know. And then they're trying to say, okay, this was Dak started because he spit on the ground. I'm sorry. If someone spits on the ground, first of all, it all started because Jalen Carter was trying to
in their huddle.
Get in their huddle.
Yeah.
But if someone spits on the ground 3 yards away from me, I'm probably not even reacting. But if you spit on me,
death.
You know, you got to deal with that.
Maybe not death, but yeah. But, some angry words.
Yeah. So
you know who doesn't spit?
But you know what's funny, by the way? I'm in that the Eliminator Survivor League.
Yeah.
And so I took the Eagles. And then I was thinking, figures. I take the Eagles and their best defensive player gets kicked out before the game starts.
So back to my bad segue.
Yeah.
Who doesn't spit?
Who doesn't spit?
Yeah. People who go to 1775, they swallow.
Yes, they do.
Great food there.
Yes, it is. It is great food. It is great barbecue. It's outstanding.
I did not plan that. It's so good. We'll be back. Hey everyone, David Nuño and Olin Buchanan and OB. Typically, we start off the show in this section, and we call it the Holistic Planning Cool
The cool zone, yeah. It's pretty cool.
What do we know about holistic planning?
Well, a lot of cool stuff. For instance, holistic planning can help you with your investments.
I love that.
They can help you with your taxes. So
I don't like paying taxes.
You can get that money from your investments and they keep it. They'll help you keep it away from the government.
Yep.
Not all of it, but more of it. And then they'll even help you with your estate planning. When you're old like me, you got to make sure some of that money you made is there for when you want to retire and just enjoy the rest of your life.
You want your estate to be planned. But they also do something else.
Yeah, well, if you are, like, say, a sports fan, and you've always wanted to...
Everybody watching us, right?
Yeah. And you want to always dream of being an owner, well, in a certain way you can, because they will broker the deal for you to invest in pro sports.
Yeah, what you need to do is check out investinprosports.com. That's where you can get all the information if you want to invest in a team. I don't know what team. He'd probably try to buy the Cowboys. I'd try to buy a lot of the Houston teams. Whatever it may be, investinprosports.com. It is holistic planning, and we love hanging out at the Holistic Planning Cool Zone. Just got a text. I got to go see HR in a minute, bring my playbook. So we'll do that here in a moment. It's TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. He's OB.
David Nuño.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center and do our Pick Six presented by Prize Picks. Remember, if you go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs, use the code TexAgs, you're going to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. It's you against the lineups. Pick more than or less than a stat projection.
I think I was 2 and 4 last week. I think I know I got LSU, and I thought I had another one. And then I thought I was going to be at least 500, and then A&M gave up the.
I believe Billy's dominating.
Is he
Pick Six
dominating?
standings? Yeah, by dominating, it's very close, like the SEC. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't have it here, but
anyway, I'm pretty sure I was 2-4. Like I said, I know I had LSU in the points, so I won that one, and there's another one that I think we all got. And then
I do have it. Okay, I do have it. You went 1-5.
We're going to have to double check that one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's Matthew Dawson who probably ruined it.
Okay, so 1-5. I know I had a bad week. I should have had another win, but I came 14 seconds away.
You had Texas covering. You had TCU covering. You got that right.
That's a win. And I know I had LSU.
Notre Dame covering. You had LSU and the points.
So I was 2-4.
Yeah. So whoever put that was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're a liar. Way to go, Luke. Anyway, let's do this week's Pick Six games if you can, Mr. Nygren.
The first game up, the Missouri Tigers host the Kansas Jayhawks at 2:30 on Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Missouri is 6.5-point favorites.
I'm gonna take Missouri in this one. I know Jalen Daniels is really good. I do know that, but I think Missouri is going to be able to run the ball.
The problem is I have for me on this one is, to be honest, I know, like you said, Daniels is really good, and they have Bryce Foster, but other than that, I don't think I could tell you another player on Kansas.
Yeah.
But I know it's a rivalry game, and if I can get 6.5 points in my team in Kansas with Daniels, I'll take them. So I'll take Kansas.
You're taking Kansas,
and the points.
Is it Ahmad Hardy, the running back, and Marquise Johnson, who had a big game?
You
for
know
Missouri?
more than I do.
I'm taking Missouri.
Okay.
The second game, Kenny Dillingham leads the number 12 Arizona State Sun Devils to Mississippi State at 6:30 on Saturday. Arizona State is 6.5-point favorites.
Give me Mississippi State.
Oh, because I'm going to take Arizona State.
Last year was close.
Yeah, with Mario Craver.
Yeah. But
he's shaping up as a pretty decent quarterback for Mississippi State.
I think Mississippi State's defense is better. The Sun Devils had 12 penalties in their opener. Both teams won by single digits. Arizona State is 0-2 all-time on the road versus the SEC. Mississippi State is going to cover, even though Arizona State will win.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Sun Devils.
The next game up, Kentucky hosts number 20 Ole Miss at 2:30 on Saturday at Kroger Field. Ole Miss 8.5-point favorites.
So Lane Kiffin's got this one written on his calendar.
Yeah, I'll take Ole Miss and give the points. Yep. Lane Kiffin, his teams have a good record against the Kentucky quarterback.
Zach Calzada, I love the dude. I want him to do well. Last week, not so well. Against, I think Ole Miss has got a really good defensive line. It's going to be they're going to win by double digits.
I think so.
The next game, an in-state matchup with Florida hosting South Florida at 3:15 on Saturday at Ben Hill Griffith Stadium. Florida is 17.5-point favorites.
17.5-point favorite. Whoa. Man, I don't want to overreact to what South Florida did in the first game. And I don't know what Boise is, but the way they just dominated Boise, it makes you think they could.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Boise had 3 lost fumbles, which ended up being part of the storyline in that one. The Bulls did miss 19 tackles in that game.
I tend to not do very well when I take the points, except for last week. So maybe that's changing things, but I'm going to go with Florida.
USF, but Florida wins.
Okay. Oklahoma hosts Michigan at 6:30 on Saturday. Oklahoma 5.5-point favorites.
I was ready to take Michigan, and they still may win the game. But then I saw they struggled against New Mexico. I'm like, how do you struggle against New Mexico?
One of the worst defenses. I mean, there's just New Mexico. You're
so
right.
Just based on that, I think I have to take Oklahoma.
I'm taking Oklahoma. Venables makes life hard on especially young quarterbacks. He's going to blitz them. They're going to have a very good defense again this year. Bryce Underwood's making his first start on the road.
On the road.
Right, yeah. I think Oklahoma wins by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'll begrudgingly take Oklahoma. You could say that, that Michigan, that first game against New Mexico really is not indicative of who they are. But until you prove that, I find that hard to swallow.
And then lastly, the number 19 Texas A&M Aggies host Utah State at 11:45 at Kyle Field on Saturday. Texas A&M 31.5-point favorites.
A&M should cover that. They should. The problem with that is, I think Elko's too much of a nice guy to just want to humiliate your opponent or just.
That's a big number, man.
Yeah, but it's a bad opponent.
Who was a bad opponent last year, week 2?
McNeese.
McNeese. Didn't McNeese run the ball fairly well on A&M last year early on? I feel like they did. You want to double check that for me?
But I think
give me the score of that game too.
52-10 was the score.
I'm going to take A&M again.
Okay.
And I'm going to give the points because I think the final score. I expect A&M to score in the high 40s or 50s in this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way, but I just hate that number. What was it last year?
The final score was 52-10, and McNeese ran 38 times for 180 yards, which is 4.7 yards per carry.
It's pretty good. Pretty good against that. Early on, the Aggies struggled stopping the run. You know what? I'm just going to do it. Give me the Aggies. The Aggies are we.
True to each other.
As Aggies can be.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
just fight, boys. Just fight, okay? For the maroon and white. All
right, let's hit a break. When we come back, Brent Zwerneman on a mobile. He's going to join us on the Buffy's Catering Bartending Hotline. Opie, I'm going to tell you something I'm working on. I think you'll appreciate this. My buddy Chance McClain, he runs Heritage Films,
Mm-hmm.
He's going to sponsor a new podcast I'm going to be doing on Mondays with my buddy Raheel. Have you heard me talk about Raheel before?
Yes.
Raheel and I did a show in Houston called No Layups, and it's not a basketball show, it's a show but we're going to do some college football talk, and I don't want to, it's going to be completely different than TexAgs Live and definitely different than the B Team. It's going to be just two guys talking. That's it. There's no introductions. Guests are just going to pop on randomly. So I believe we're going to have some pretty cool names on Monday. They're just going to pop on in the middle of a conversation. But Chance, when he heard I was going to do something with Raheel, like, I'll sponsor that. So we'll have a sponsor on it.
Okay, great.
I'm pumped about it. If you don't know about Heritage Films, you're missing out. Heritage Films is awesome. They do documentaries for families, for family businesses and family ranches. You're really going to love the quality of their work. Chance did the story of my father just a few years back. My dad's 95 years old, and you're not promised tomorrow. Get these stories done. Your father, your grandfather, your mother, whoever it may be. You want to do your family business, your family ranch, Heritage Films is the one to do it for you. 2-hour documentaries, first class. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And when you watch it with your family, it's going to be a very empowering moment. The website is yourheritagefilm.com. Yourheritagefilm.com. 713-893-8341. It's Heritage Films.
Let's talk a little Snaps clothing. David Nuño here, and I love wearing Snaps clothing everywhere. I've got the flannel on right now. You've seen me in the Tailgater collection with the A&M gear. It is fantastic. If you see me around town with my sons, Christian and Cruz, they've got a bunch of Snaps gear. When they have big games for Consol, they wear nice clothes, so they wear their Snap stuff. And I'm telling you, with baseball season here, let's all kind of go looking stylish and fit to the games there at Olson wearing the Snaps clothing. As a reminder, they are the only official licensed Texas A&M Pearl Snaps maker out there. Their Tailgater collection is built for game day with breathable, moisture-wicking fabrics to keep you comfortable while you rep your Aggies in style. Now, whether you're watching the game from home or maybe you're in attendance, you're tailgating, whatever it may be, you got to make sure you head to snapsclothing.com to see everything they have to offer. It is fashionable, it is awesome, and you're going to love it.
And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's go to the Buffy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Brent Zwerneman joining us. Chit-chat with our old friend who's just enjoying life and family, right, Brent?
That's pretty much what it comes down to right now, David. And it did hit me along the way when I was thinking about this. Is Olin's there, right?
Yeah, Z, I'm right here.
Yeah. Hey, man, 30 years ago, this strapping East Texan decided to head west to Austin, and I took his place. That was 30 years ago this summer. If my math was never a strength, but I think I'm right on that.
You are right.
That I played years ago this summer.
Yep. Brent was working at the Eagle as a news reporter, and I just gotten a job offer in Austin, so he got the opportunity, the offer to replace me. And we talked about it one time. I said, do you really want to be in city council meetings, or would you rather be at the games? And I think he gave it a lot of thought and obviously made the right choice.
Yeah, no, and it's hadn't looked back since, right? 30 years later, and I remember asking you. I was so innocent at that time, Olin. I like, do you actually get to talk to people like Corey Pulig? I remember asking you that, and you're like, yeah. You get to talk to Corey Pulig and so forth. I'm like, cool, okay, all right. I think I can do this. and
did it better than me. You know, all those awards he's won over the years.
He's won a lot of awards. That's right. Do you miss it?
But I do. You know what I miss? I miss this. I miss the conversations with y'all and the fun we have, because, you know, in this business, if you can't have fun, then you obviously shouldn't be in it. And that's what I miss the most. The other thing I was thinking about as I started going down memory lane again this morning was the road trips with Cessna. And I have two regrets on the book front so far. I've coached about 20 seasons of Little League, of youth baseball and stuff like that. And I wish from the beginning I had kept notes from that and written a book off that, just how much fun that's been. And the other book that I wish I had kept notes on was Road Trips with Cease, because those were incredible, as you can imagine. So those are the things I miss. I miss the banter and things like that. And obviously there are some things that I don't miss as well.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I don't even think Cease was there, but I do remember he had an interesting road trip to Lake Charles that we still talk about all the time.
Is that right?
And that's as far as it, huh?
Cease ran over a deer leg one time in the middle of the highway and dragged it for miles. We didn't know what it was. We thought something was going wrong with the rental car. And every time he would cross lanes, and you know, it was a little higher in the center lane or whatever, you'd hear dun 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 dun. And finally, somebody's like pushing us over, you know, and for all they knew, it was a body under there. Somebody signaling for us to pull off, and it was a deer leg. I was like, yeah, that's about right. You know, Cease hitting a deer leg and dragging it for miles somewhere.
Where was the rest of the deer?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
You buried the lead, or maybe somebody buried the deer.
Hey, Brent, when you're watching the Aggies now, is it like, how do you watch it? Like, you've watched it for years and probably writing notes and coming up with angles for your stories afterward. How did you watch last week?
Yeah, I actually thought of Olin the other day. I put out a little tweet. I said the CNC Maroon factory, talking about the receivers were churning out the hits. And I said, that's kind of Olin-esque there, you know, and plus a very dated reference. But yeah, that was my first game to miss or not be at Kyle in since 2000, because I'd left a couple of years to go cover the Dallas Cowboys and the Spurs and things like that. So yeah, that was different. It was different to watch with my family like that, and it was actually kind of cool to be able to watch with my boys. But you know, certainly I missed being in the press box as well. And you know, and it's one of those things that that when the buyout came along from Hearst Corporation, it kicked in on January 15th. And, you know, and so I'm leaving all doors open moving forward. So essentially, technically, I'm, you know, with them through January 15th. So who knows what the future holds. But yeah, it's certainly been different. A big part of it, when that buyout came along, and it was essentially a full year, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a chance to coach my 11-year-old son uninterrupted. There's been times where I had to leave and coaching him. And it's not a bad deal by any means. Like when I left to go cover the College World Series in Omaha and left him, and wasn't able to coach with him and the All-Stars anymore. That's a great deal. I get it. But I also knew, okay, this might be like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I kind of rolled the dice on that front, and it paid off. His Brian Harvey team, they won the area title. And we got shellacked in Lufkin, which I think a lot of people have said over the years. But it was well worth it. When I look back and say, hey, that decision, it's been worth every penny based on getting to coach him all the way through and coaching him through the All-Stars that wound up in Lufkin.
Yeah, so does he have as much promise as a certain left-handed relief pitcher from Sam Houston and about the 90s?
I will say he is a lefty himself, and he's already got one more no-hitter than the old man. So he asked me, he threw a no-hitter last year in fall ball, and he goes, he's 11. This is Brady I'm talking about. And he goes, Dad, did you ever throw a no-hitter? I go, nope, you're one up on me, kid. So, yeah. It's funny you say that, Olin, because it's my revered college coach, John Skeeters, has often reminded me, lovingly reminded me, son, the only reason I kept you around is you're left-handed. I'm like, yes, sir, I know, Coach. We still get together. And I'm like, I appreciate that. But, yeah, so Brady's a lefty as well. So, but he much more, to answer your question, much more promise than the old man.
Okay. Well, good luck then.
Brent, when you look back at your 30 years, different Aggie football coaches that you've covered, just anything stand out about this era compared to others?
Man, I'll tell you all this. Okay, so my older brother is a University of Texas graduate and brilliant guy. And I can't even get into what he has done for a living and everything like this, but I will say this. He's very matter of fact, and I've kind of never known him to be wrong. And he goes, the Aggies hired a really good coach with Mike Elko. And he's just very matter of fact, straightforward. And I go, okay, I'm gonna take his word for it because, and that, we saw that with Elko's defenses as well. And my first year covering the beat, as we already mentioned, was 95. That team had Leland, McElroy. It was known for the wrecking crew defenses. And I think you're going to see that, again, come back, as you saw it come back with Elko when he was DC. So, yeah, and, one of the things I didn't appreciate at that time, going back to the 30 years, and along the way, I started considering R.C. Slocum, like, as y'all did too, it's like almost like an extra dad in town. It was like his press conferences, I would learn from them and take some things from them. And then, in Elko, he's the first defensive-minded coach hired since R.C. Slocum as well. So yeah, and a lot of great memory. The one that stands out to me, of course, football related, is I literally had to jump out of the way of Samisi Haimuli's helmet when he launched it in the air when they won the Big 12 title. Like Sir Parker dove into the end zone, Larry Bowen and I got out of the way, and then I'm watching, and I happen to look away, and Haimuli launches this helmet in the air, and I actually pushed this guy from Fox Sports out of the way. It almost hit him on the head. So it's like, and to me, that's a great memory. That is just an awesome memory. So I would say that one certainly stands out when I look back on the 30 years of covering the Aggies, no doubt.
Yeah,
an outstanding career, but it's such a weird,
An outstanding career, no doubt. And you had broke some big stories. Which one do you think, if you had to pick one, that you're most proudest of?
Well, the one that was most unique was the Fran secret newsletter.
Right.
That one was different, and of course, that was something because they called me into Fran's office, to almost like the principal's office, right, to try to talk me out of writing that story. And he's sitting there and he's sweet talking me and so forth. And I'm like, he goes, do you really think this is that big a deal? He says that to me, and I go, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. That was my response, and because, at that point I said, he's like, you seem so angry. And I go, well, you're not going to talk me out of doing the story. This is happening, and we need to get your response. And I remember he stood up in his desk, and I stuck my hand out to shake his hand on his way out, and he just brushed past me. And I go, okay, we'll see where this goes, and so that one was certainly unique. The one, Texas and OU to the SEC at the 2021 media days. That was nuts, and that all stemmed. I know I've told you all this before, but that all stemmed from me looking for a summer story to write, and then I go, okay, it's the 10-year anniversary of Bo and Lofton saying in that Regents complex of the Big 12 is in a state of uncertainty, and I'm like, okay, that was 10 years to the day. Well, that story ended up breaking 10 years to the day that Bo and Lofton said that about the Big 12 being in a state of uncertainty with A&M. And it was because I had called all these old timers, and all that originated north of the Red River, by the way. And so, yeah, that was quite a scene at the 2021 SEC Media Days based on that story, all stemming from me wanting to do a 10-year anniversary story of Bo and Lofton saying that about the Big 12.
Brent, man, we really appreciate this. I hope to get you in studio soon just to hang out with us, maybe kick it for an hour. How's that sound?
Man, I would love that. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm a little rusty these days, but man, I'm very appreciative that y'all had me on, and look forward to seeing y'all around. And I'm going to be picking up some assignments from Associated Press, so hopefully see y'all in the press box soon as well.
We look forward to that, man. Thanks so much for your time.
You bet. We'll see y'all.
Brent Zwerneman, awesome dude. Known him a long time. I know you have as well. 30 years. Longer than 30 years.
A little bit longer than that. Yeah, I get the feeling that as I get older, there's a lot of local writers and people like that, media types that are just like buzzards waiting for me to, the body to stop moving so they can swoop in and take the job.
They ain't taking your go-hour job, buddy.
And
keeping you here.
And Brent would be a great choice.
Brent's awesome. Yeah. Wherever he ends up, it'll be great. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back with Bank on it on the other side. Right now, I'm not wearing Duck Camp at the moment. I've worn it a couple times this week. I love Duck Camp. The hat that Stephen McGee wears on the show. Have you seen that? It's kind of like, I don't know, maroon/pink kind of color. Salmon. I don't know.
Salmon.
Is that what it is?
Sure.
It's awesome. I want it. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, he has a hat. Yeah, I noticed the hat.
He's got a hat. Yes, he does.
I noticed it.
It's a great
good-looking hat.
I want that hat. I ordered that hat.
All right.
I ordered that hat. I'm going to order you some pants.
Do you wear hats often?
No. Now with the bald spot, sometimes when I go running and stuff, I will because I don't want to get that.
But you don't want to be running in that hat.
No, that hat you want to go like.
That's too nice.
It's a nice hat. Yeah. You want to go like where you can go indoors with a hat, which
right.
I know sometimes you can't. Right, an indoor hat place.
TexAgs.
You can do that. You can do it on the show. Believe it or not.
Lucci does.
We're gonna get you some pants for the Holistic Planning Cool Zone. So we got that too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna get you some pants.
Because no one wants to see.
I want you to get some brush pants. That's what I want. Yeah.
All right.
Hunting pants, maybe an orange shirt. Duck Camp's got it all.
Duck Camp's got it all.
And my favorites are the hoodies, and I think you guys should check out the hoodies, the essential hoodie, the lightweight fishing shirt, you name it. Duckcamp.com is the website. Duckcamp.com, built for the outdoors and designed for everything else.
Everyone, David Nuño here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em.
this the music for the
game show?
Luch and Bach?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they have
Really?
the song. Yeah.
Huh.
I think because
we're talking about a missed opportunity.
Well, I think they can't.
They can't
because it's on YouTube.
They go with "Sad but True" by Metallica.
Oh, disregard.
See, I would think you would that would have been a layoff.
Billy and Gabe.
They picked it. Okay.
Well.
Can we bank on something presented by Vera Bank?
Yeah, let's bank.
What do you want to bank on?
I'm banking on. God, there's so many I can bank on. I'm banking on Marcel Reed having another big game. You know what? I'm going to say he's back-to-back 4 touchdown passes. Back-to-back.
What was that?
You're supposed to turn around that way.
Sorry. I can do
back-to-back.
that. No. Then people will talk about the whole. All right. Des Ricks and Will Lee both have an interception. Both. Okay. We didn't have any picks last week, right? Am I remembering correctly? And
there's more.
Utah State will rush for less than, and people are going to say, that's a big number, 120 yards.
Okay.
Last week, they rushed for 135. Last year, what did you tell me that McNeese did in week 2? 186 yards?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're still figuring it out. Not this weekend. I don't know why I yelled.
I'm banking on an Aggies victory.
Way to go out on a limb there.
Didn't say which Aggies.
Oh, good call. Forgot. All right, when we come back, just a pleasant conversation with SEC Mike, where we're just going to chit-chat about quarterback rankings. Thank you, Obi.
All right.
a pleasant argument about quarterbacks here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. We go to the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. SEC Mike is here with us. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, doing great, David. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. I got to admit, the hat you wore the other day on the show, I hadn't seen you wear that hat before. I'm sure you've worn it, but it was like a Billy the Kid kind of. It was a good look.
Yeah, I bought that for spring meetings this year. So I went down there and to Destin. You kind of got to look the part when you're down there. You know what?
Yeah, you did look the part. So I want to ask you. We're going to talk Marcel. I'm sure you're aware. I want to ask you how you all come up with your rankings. Is it a week-to-week basis? Is it projections? And is it you and cousin Shane together? Just kind of explain the formula you use.
Yeah, not necessarily a formula. Just really just eye test how these quarterbacks looked, and I will be changing this week to week, no doubt. But just after watching these quarterbacks, I don't care what their recruiting rankings are. I don't care what their draft grades are, if that's even a thing. Just how they look to me week one of the college football season. And I think I nailed it.
Okay, I don't think you nailed it. But in full disclosure, it doesn't matter what somebody's ranked, right? Like trying to figure out what all these teams' quarterbacks did against inferior opponents, and oftentimes I don't think is a true metric for 14 weeks of a season potentially. Marcel at 12. Give me your reasons, and I probably have a few counters. So and I don't want this to be a debate show. I'm just trying to understand it.
Right. Well, and then first of all, I should say, again, in fairness to Marcel Reed, I think between 4 and 12, I think they're largely interchangeable for exactly what you just said. Competition. Again, I'm going off one game resumes here when I'm ranking these guys, but I do have Marcel Reed 12. It's interesting, David. I don't hear many Aggies saying, "Well, you put him over Arch." I mean, I've not heard that one time, which I think is fair
because Arch struggled.
Arch did not look good, so I got him above Arch. But again, going back to Marcel, I don't know what the game plan was there for A&M. I really don't. You guys would know better than I, but this is not what I was expecting from this team. It seemed like they were really trying to force the issue. To me, A&M, when they were awesome last year, number one in the SEC, what were they doing? They were running the football and they were stopping the run. They didn't do either one of those against UTSA. So I just don't understand it. Are we trying to make him Dan Marino? If that's the plan, it's going to be a long season in College Station. Now, again, number 12, does that mean he's awful? No. There was a lot there. He had some big-time throws. He had some big-time misses as well. And you can look at his stats. His stats were incredible, right? But I think you've also seen this where I said, heck, I think Casey Concepcion, he might be the best player. I said he could be a Heisman winner, not a contender, a winner. He looked that good to me. So he's got Concepcion. Mario Craver was making spectacular plays, that yards after catch. So I think that all helped Marcel Reed. Overall, A&M just seemed out of sorts. And I would say of all the teams in the SEC that won week one, I would probably put them at the top of the list of the teams that I was the most unimpressed with in a win.
Okay. Couple things to retort, if you will. Austin Simmons threw a couple of picks, was sacked twice. Taylor Green, amazing sacks. Amazing stats, but was sacked several times, or twice at least. Mateer threw a pick in his game. Sellers was sacked 4 times. Marcel did not throw a pick. Marcel did not get sacked. Marcel, actually, I think his numbers are more impressive because they didn't run the ball, because people were expecting them to run the ball, and they threw so much, and they threw effectively. So I almost feel like he shouldn't lose points for the defense giving up yards, and he shouldn't lose points for the fact that they threw so much. It was actually nice to see that he could throw in the middle of the field and open people up.
Well, I guess, but at the same time, in the third quarter, it was a ball game. So to me, I don't think this was an effective game plan. And again, they had a punt return for a touchdown. They had several kick returns that set up great field possession, and they started slow. And again, I was largely unimpressed with the overall game plan. Now they out-athleted UTSA, and when the game did get close, the defense locked down and completely suffocated them for, I believe, 6 consecutive drives. So that won them the game. But I don't know. If this is the game plan, we're going to throw it all over the yard with Marcel Reed all season long. 7-5 is probably your record.
Okay.
Billy Liucci's
I just
here.
jumped in. Sorry, Mike. Chick-fil-A, they wanted to ask me 76 questions about my order, so it slowed me down. I'm with you. If they're going to line up and throw the ball, and that's going to be like, then
avoid their best offensive
I think,
player.
And if they can't stop the run, those two things, they'll be 7-5 or less. I don't see that at all on offense. I don't think it was a game plan to just go in and not run. I think maybe to not run Le'Veon Moss very much was probably part of the game plan. But I think they just said, okay, UTSA, you're going to do this, then we're going to throw, and it's good because we now have weapons to hit big plays, whether it's down the field or short, turn into big plays. Here's the thing. First game, quarterback rankings, I was going to ask you, and I heard a second ago, so I guess I know that was based on one game, not last year. Because if you start to mix in last year, then that, to me, moves Marcel way up, and I think you had him up a lot higher maybe prior to the season. But I'm not defensive about it from the standpoint of it is one game against UTSA. My only thing is to listen to y'all. I think UTSA would beat not Virginia Tech, who Sellers played, and certainly not Clemson, who Nuss played. But a lot of those quarterbacks ahead, I think, and I say that UTSA might lose this weekend to Texas State. I think that's going to be a really exciting, fun game. But I think UTSA would beat some of those teams that the Alabama A&M, Illinois State, they might beat some of those teams by 35, 42 points. Like, they're pretty good. I'm not going to overhype them. We do that every year around the SEC when your team doesn't blow out, 50-0, one of these non-Power 5. I'm not going to do that. That's a good group of 5 program or whatever we're calling them these days that would just absolutely obliterate some of the teams these other quarterbacks played against. So as long as we're sitting here saying it's next to impossible to judge, but 330 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns without a turnover. And honestly, I heard you say this, it was closer than expected in the third quarter. They cut it to 21-17, one play in. And then you look at Marcel, on those 2 touchdown drives to follow. I think he was 8 for 9 for 130 yards of offense and 2 touchdowns, and the game was over. So kind of when it hit a little moment. But anyway, quarterback position, guys, to me, and Mike, you and I talked about it all summer, it's going to be the storyline of this conference all year. Mm-hmm. So 1 week does not matter. And my only pushback more than anything else is they ain't going to sit back and just drop back and throw all season. I do think it's great that they have the ability, I think, to do that more so than they have in recent seasons. So that's going to, I think, help them get past 7-5 and 8-4 versus push them back to that. Anywho, what about Clemson and LSU? Seriously.
I'm still stunned by that. All the hype and hoopla over Clemson, which I thought was all overrated anyway. Heck, they've lost 4 consecutive games to the SEC, and they lost 4 games last year. And yet some people, knowledgeable people too, I think, had them as preseason number 1. They've got 6 first-round draft picks apparently. I didn't see any of that. I saw LSU dominate that football game. I know it was just a touchdown win, but really should have been a 2-touchdown because they essentially robbed them of a touchdown. But after the first quarter, I thought LSU completely dominated Clemson.
Yeah, no, you're right on about Clemson. I didn't put them number 1. I think I had them fit, but I gave them more benefit of the doubt. I'm out on Klubnik. If I had my quarterback rankings in the ACC, I don't know where he'd be, but he would be. I'll put it this way: he would be behind Carson freaking Beck and Castellanos, who I would never have thought I'd be saying that today, but I do feel that way. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Clemson, and I'm sick of Klubnik in terms of just not performing in those big games. So 4 in a row to the SEC. So that brings up interesting question that I've been wrestling with, because where do you stand on LSU? Because I'm like second most impressive win of the weekend for the SEC, but also at the same time I'm like, I am still in a TBD mode on Nussmeier for the Heisman and LSU to win the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing with LSU that was just so impressive, again, we go back to the quarterbacks. We always give them the praise, right?
Defense.
It was that defense.
Yeah.
The defense won them the game. Can they do that week in and week out? Now, they actually did look really good last season for about half the year, and then teams found out that you could just run a quarterback on them and they can't stop it. So that's not something that Klubnik has in his game necessarily. So how do they defend a running quarterback? That's still a big question that I have for LSU. But, man, if they have this caliber of defense for the rest of the season, I am still questioning their offensive line. I think is a question mark. Caden Durham, their sophomore running back, he's really good too. So, I mean, I did not have LSU as a playoff team. But if their defense plays to this level all year, they may win the conference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, because I'm looking at the conference, and if you told me, well, who you picking over them right now? And if we're going off of 1 week and we're going off of I do think that was a statement. I don't think Clemson's offense is that good, but they held them to 1 touchdown. And you just watch it, right, Mike? You watch the football game, you go, that defense looked
They look good.
Good. I guess I would say I'd bump them from, I thought they were going to be 9-3 to I could see them being 10-2 in a playoff team. And if they get in the SEC title game with that, great. But they were one of the few teams that I watched this weekend that my eyeballs said they looked better than I thought they were going to be. Who did you see, Mike, that was the opposite?
Who disappointed? I mean, I think we already know that, don't we? It's Alabama.
Yeah.
Man,
I should have said without them, but I do want to hear your thoughts on Alabama.
I mean, good night. That was the team I thought that was my preseason pick to win the SEC. I mean, that's comical at this point in time.
Both of us.
Everything we heard leading up to the offseason was they've corrected it. They kept everybody out of the portal in the spring. We got Ryan Grubb. This is a new era, and it's just the same old for Florida against Florida State, where you're nearly a 2-touchdown favorite. They didn't look like they belong on the field with Florida State, and that's embarrassing. So. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't made a move already to fire that defensive coordinator. He's like the anti-Saban, and I don't know that they get it fixed overnight, because you're hearing excuses. Well, they don't have the money of A&M and Texas. Money's not the problem, or at least the roster is not the problem. You cannot look at Alabama right now with a top 5 roster in all of college football and say they don't have what it takes to compete. They have the players, and I was told they have the coach. But I think A&M may have dodged a big-time bullet not landing Kalen DeBoer. I know they were interested in him. I don't think that guy's cut out for the Southeastern Conference. I really don't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It certainly doesn't feel like. By the way, here's my thing on coaches who are in programs and former players. I heard A.J. McCarron crying about it. Still not sure if he purposely didn't wake Johnny up at the Manning game. Kidding. That whole deal. You talk about the ultimate he said, she said. But no, I hear McCarron saying he knows the teams with $40 and $50 million. I'm going to tell you this. I know for a fact, I don't think there's a single program in college football that has a $40 million roster. Not one, first of all. So when you say 40 to 50, now I think programs are spending in the 30, like some of your very top are clipping into the 30s. Okay, that's a 25% more, or it's really a 33% more difference to get up to 40, and to say 40 to 50, it's just insane, and it's sour grapes. And when McCarron and when Bama's winning titles based on when no one was supposed to be paid a cent, and you're a complete dumbass if you think otherwise, and then you hear Mike Gundy crying about Oregon and Dan Lanning when if you're from this area, you remember Mike Gundy swooping into Houston and inexplicably getting what would have been 5-star players and getting all these players that, Texas, Oklahoma, and A&M were recruiting back, and that was before he had kind of built that thing to what he got it to at some point. But to hear Alabama football and Mike Gundy complaining about other teams' roster amounts, that just makes me laugh, and I think it's the stupidest thing in college sports today. And like you said, they certainly have a roster to go into Tallahassee and beat Florida State.
So I want both of you guys to chew on this. Mike, this was a topic from one of your shows where you said, what if Arch has the season that Jackson Arnold had last year for Texas? What happens to Texas then? Billy, you want to start us off?
Well, I want to hear his take, but he and I love talking about this. But if that happened, first of all, if that happened, Jackson Arnold would probably have a better year this year than Arch Manning. But if that happened, I don't think. There would be nothing to actually happen other than there would be a lot of receipts cashed, not just here in College Station, not just for SEC Mike, but around the country. Not of people that said Arch Manning was going to be as bad as Jackson Arnold was last year, and I don't foresee that, but just people that had the audacity, like a Jordan Rodgers or somebody, just to say, hey, I don't think he's as good as the hype. I think he's inexperienced, and that in the SEC is going to be tough. That in the horseshoe is going to be tough. He's going to have some growing. Anyone that said that, including the guy we're talking to, got attacked and buried on social media by angry mobs of Texas fans. So today they're moving the goalposts all week. I'm seeing his stats compared to Colt McCoy's first game and Peyton Manning's and Vince Young, and there's just so little context and all that. I could show you 200 quarterbacks that sucked, 500, 1,000 of them, and I could compare those stats. They're looking at the fourth quarter and saying that, he got, but no, he didn't. His second to last throw of the game cost them a chance to tie it. Wide open guy. So what they're doing now, and now they're blaming the national media. We didn't do this. We didn't. My ass, you didn't. We all had to hear it. So I'm sorry for the rant. I want to hear Mike's version. But to me, it's the most ridiculous thing I've seen is what's happening this week out of Austin. And I'm saying that as somebody that thinks that dude's going to be way better than he showed on Saturday, and probably this year. I'd still take the odds that he has a really good year, but I do think there was enough to say, okay, can he go into Athens and win? Can he go into the Swamp and win? Can he avoid an upset? Can he win in a rivalry? I do think those are fair questions now.
Yeah, in comparing Arch and Jackson Arnold on the face, that seems like a ludicrous comparison. But just the more I thought about it, how soon we forget Jackson Arnold was a 5-star, and they pushed out Dylan Gabriel for him. What did they do to Quinn Ewers? Pushed him out for Arch Manning. Offensive line. It seemed like a real issue to me for Texas against Ohio State, albeit one game, totally reworked unit. But that was the issue for Jackson Arnold. And the only other thing is Jackson Arnold had his receivers all get injured. So, we're already starting to see that at Texas. They're already down a receiver. So, the parallels are kind of there. I'm kind of with Billy. I think Arch will bounce back. Certainly the next couple games, San Jose, Sam Houston, all these cupcakes they got to play. But the real test is going to come, like you said, in the Swamp. That's on the road. I think Florida's really good this year. The very next game, Oklahoma, Cole Kublik, it's got Oklahoma as the best defensive line in the conference and maybe the country. So, Arch could be running for his life. And if he is Jackson Arnold 2.0 this season, I think Texas is probably going to go 8-4, maybe 9-3. But, silver lining for Texas, as bad as Arch looked, I thought the defense looked, the opposite. Yeah. They looked elite to me. So I think the defense can carry them.
And they've got a running
to the college football playoff. I don't know. I think they need Arch to win them a game or two if they're going to make the playoff.
I agree, especially if you look at that road trip to Athens and look, I'm, again, go back to these quarterback rankings. Gunnar Stockton thought he ran well. If he's going to do that all year, does he survive? But they got to go to Georgia. If they don't win there against a top 5 team on the road, like you said, they got to win out and go beat. I mean, look, they still drew Kentucky, Vandy, Arkansas, Mississippi State. They still drew that. That's half of their conference schedule, which is insane. And I say that as someone that covers A&M. A&M drew 2 of those 4. But they drew all 4. And I know it's not old Vandy. Hell, maybe Vandy and Diego Pavia. Maybe that's a danger zone game for them, even in Austin. So it's interesting. You look at those next 3, they certainly have time to get it right. But by God, they don't play FCS schools like the rest of the SEC. We're going to keep putting up a stat that Texas hasn't played an FCS school in 12 years and put it on Twitter and celebrate it. You want to talk about a damn moral victory. We didn't play an FCS school. Who gives a damn? Nobody cares. You're playing
Sam Houston, not FCS. Did they upgrade?
They're not. They did. They bumped up.
Okay.
But Sam Houston, San Jose State. Who was that third one? I didn't even see it. UTEP. UTEP
just lost to Utah State.
Yeah. Man. All right.
Hey, Mike, we appreciate
Murderer's Row right there.
We appreciate your time,
I got a question for him. How's Shane? Give me his temperature. First of all, has Cracker Barrel refollowed him since the rebranding back to the old, and then what are his thoughts right now on Cracker? Was that like a big victory over there in Tennessee for him?
Yeah, and believe it or not, before the rebranding, before they unveiled the new look of the restaurant, so that was like a week prior. They blocked Shane for the second time.
Yeah.
He remains blocked.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the logo controversy. I mean, it's kind of transparent that. And hey, we like Cracker Barrel. Their headquarters is literally right down the street from where I'm talking to you. They don't know what in the world they're doing. They literally blocked their biggest fan. He could save the brand, but they would never know it because they haven't blocked.
What a content idea for you guys to film Shane going into the corporate offices of Cracker Barrel and trying to get an explanation as to why he's blocked. It would be amazing. Or just to go into I think corporate would be the way to go. Or you could go into a Cracker Barrel and kind of ask the waitress if you could talk to a manager and go, hey, I just want to know why I'm blocked with just a plate of chicken and dumplings in front of him. Anyway, there you go. Hey, before we go, obviously OU Michigan's going to get all the headlines this week. Who do you got in that one? And then just real quick, what's your second SEC game that you're second most interested in?
Yeah, definitely number 1, Oklahoma, Michigan. I like Oklahoma 2017. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to watch Michigan's true freshman Bryce Underwood, but I think he's the real deal. I really do. And I think Michigan could win this game, but if you're telling me first road start against a Brent Venables defense, I lean Oklahoma just to force him to make a mistake or two. That'll probably be the deciding factor. I love what I've seen from John Mateer. I think he's the real deal. So give me Oklahoma there. And then the other one, probably Kansas, Missouri. Missouri should win that one, but man, I'm telling you, I know you probably don't have a lot of Missouri listeners, but they have been talking about this game for 2 years. Yeah. This is a huge, huge game. I think there's a lot of pressure on Missouri and this team to get this win. I think that added pressure, they may be tight in this one. So it wouldn't stun me if Kansas pulls the upset here.
I think I actually picked the upset. No offense to our friend Maggie up there, and I'm sure you've sparred with her before.
She'll get on you.
Yeah.
Mike,
I love how you know all the personalities online that'll come after you.
Because they've all come after me.
Boat we get tagged way too much. You know?
By the way, I did notice that Mike did mention that he may move up Marcelo's rankings if you come after him. He did say that on the video. I did see that.
Man. You got to worry more.
Marcel. Again,
you got to worry more about. Yeah, you made him the 12th man.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this conference right now. I'll just say that.
I think he's going to move way up, but just kind of like Mateer, we're not going to know it You're going to learn a lot more about Mateer this weekend. You're going to learn a lot more about Marcel the weekend following. At some point, Gunnar Stockton's going to get tested, and at some point, Austin Simmons is going to get tested.
Yep.
Maybe it's by Mark Stoops' Kentucky defense. I doubt it. But, at some point, each of these guys are going to face a real test. We know when Mateers is coming, and we know when Reeds is coming. So it's all going to sort itself out.
Right. And then one other game, if I could mention real quick, South Florida at Florida.
Oh, yeah.
That's an undercard there because South Florida just absolutely steamrolled a ranked Boise team in the opener. Billy Napier loses that one. All of a sudden, Kalen DeBoer's seat looks pretty cool because I don't know how long's Napier's got if he's losing to South Florida at home.
Yep.
Mike, we appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
SEC Mike here on TexAgs Live. We'll hit a break. We'll come back and get into some Aggie football and whatnot. Right now, Milliken Reserve, farm-to-table community in College Station. They have homes, they got trails, they got farms, they got wide open spaces, and they have a mission to build a healthy community around nature. They've done so by treading lightly on the land that you can find Milliken Reserve on, creating a sanctuary for family, for nature, and for community. They have 2,600 acres of open space, 30 miles of trails and homes. They have respect for the native landscape and, of course, that wildlife. And it's a place for families to cherish generation after generation. And they are committed to maintaining and restoring that natural habitat. When you go there, just know this. Homeowners at Milliken Reserve share a legacy in conservation, which means generation after generation, you're coming back to that pristine countryside place. Check out the website to learn more about Milliken Reserve. That is millikenreserve.com, millikenreserve.com.
Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
And we are back. Welcome back to TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Got some top. We got to get back on track time-wise because we went super long with SEC Mike. That's okay. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. I know within the last 30 minutes there's been some compelling texts and YouTube chats and premium chats. Tell me something good.
Well, a lot of people weren't too happy with the rankings from SEC Mike.
Let me guess. They were upset. I saw some of them because the metrics he was using against Marcel had nothing to do with Marcel.
Yeah, they were upset that he was essentially, they thought that he was penalizing Marcel for
the defense.
For things that Marcel can't control.
Yeah, look.
Everybody's
here's
got
the
their
deal.
own
We're
metrics.
not running off SEC Mike because he has Marcel ranked so low. We're not. I'm going to nip that in the bud for those of you that like to assemble a mob and he's going to be the guest. I completely disagree with his ranking. Saw it yesterday. That was why I was ordering breakfast, like hauling ass to get here. And, there was that little gap from my car to here where I didn't want to repeat something you'd already talked about and asked. So Bronny's trying to stop me and talk. I'm like, leave me alone. Like,
I want to talk to Mike, yeah.
Running right in here. Look, man, completely disagree.
That's okay.
And I also don't, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, that guy is right about a lot and he's wrong about a lot. And because he says a lot. And Texas fans will say the same thing about me with that. With the troll job I do on that fan base, particularly the pitiful message board people that can't figure it out. And I'm living in their head like the day before they play Ohio State in a 1-2 matchup. But he's going to be wrong. I think he got this one way wrong, but time will tell in the season.
Right.
You argued to the death on the Jimbo
I was right.
Pittman thing, and I still think you're right. But then, wasn't long after that, Jimbo got fired. So, he's still better than Pittman. But my point is, you're going to say things and rank things. I know this, and you know this. When we do rankings,
it's hard.
If our stuff was seen by the whole SEC, and we were trying to do it on 16 teams, you're going to catch hell every time from half the fan bases. So, yeah, I think it's a poor ranking of Marcel, and I just think there's not enough body of work for me to worry about it. And I think if Marcel goes and plays his ass off in South Bend, I think A&M will win that game, and none of it will matter. And if he goes out there and the Aggie offense looks like they did last year in the Notre Dame game, none of it will matter. Who's going to really care about a ranking? So my only thing on it was, what we do and what you do and what the listeners do and what anybody does when someone puts out that list. The first thing you do is you look on all the names ahead of your quarterback or your team, and you go, well, why this? I saw some things that had Tennessee ranked like top 3 team in the conference after week 1 by a lot of people that I know and respect that cover the SEC from the SEC network. And I'm like, who the hell did they be? You know how bad Syracuse is likely to be this year? And then Mateer, Gunnar Stockton, Austin Simmons, the level or lack of level of opponents they played this weekend. Taylon Green, you saw him all year last year, and he did the same damn thing, and we all sat here, and I heard half the A&M fan base crying scared of Petrino and Taylor.
Yep.
And by the way, I still think that's a tough game up there, and I think that dude's going to be better, and I think he's good. But they did the exact same thing to some pitiful. It would have been like this. Here's my thing. What would Marcel Reed's numbers have looked like through 2 quarters, because he would have come out after 2 quarters, again, if they'd have played Samford Saturday?
275 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
Probably 16 for 18, 3 touchdowns, 4 total touchdowns and a half. And, that's what those teams played. They didn't play UTSA, and I don't even think UTSA is a juggernaut. But I think UTSA would boat race most of the teams those numbers were put up against. That's all. Yep. So it's just, if you're going to rank quarterbacks every week, then you're ranking them after week 1.
Right. Let's hit a break. We'll come back, get back on track. A moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. If you're ready to take your business operation to the next level and are looking at adding new vehicles to your fleet, check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet, who have expanded their selection of commercial vehicles to meet your everyday need. From service body trucks to flatbed trucks to medium-duty trucks, they can handle all those tough jobs, and they've got the muscle to help you with your business demands. And they are also a newly designated business elite dealer, which means they understand what it takes to keep your company moving forward. Make sure you check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet. It's about a 15-minute drive from the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. Maybe.
God and grow.
Great concert. Yes, I've gone to see Oasis perform.
I'm impressed. You know what?
Liam and Noel Gallagher, dear friends.
I really fumbled that one. It would have been difficult, but, and I know he's listening, one of my good buddies was going to go to New York Sunday, had travel arranged, weren't leaving till like out of College Station till about 6 o'clock, so I could have got some work done Sunday, on the plane, worked on the plane, Sunday night, dinner, go to bed, work Monday, zoom into the show Monday. Could have done the podcast before we left, everything we did. Monday night, Oasis at MetLife.
You could have gone?
In the pit. And it was...
Because they've been broken up forever.
But then I had to come back Tuesday, and you basically give up all of Tuesday, coming back from New York to Houston, get picked up, drive up. So it was...
It's interesting you choose these events that I would love to go to. Don't mention a word to me.
I would love to go to that. And he told me, and he's not even like a big Oasis fan, but goes to a lot because it's the best concert he's ever been to in his life.
It's in the top 3.
But think about now, after, 15, 16, 17 years they haven't performed, and God, so just...
There's a documentary on
Hopefully
Amazon.
they come back.
On them. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Hopefully they don't implode and kill each other again.
They will. That's how they work.
Because there's a lot of places in the States you'd think they could come in and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they're that interested in that because they could have done that now, and they only did 5 shows. Anywho.
By the way, this weekend, I believe tomorrow maybe, Shane Gillis and Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
The one show that I wanted to go to as well. The second show. That's in South Bend.
That would have been awesome.
Impossible
the night
with a
before,
game.
but I have seen both. So I haven't seen Shane's whole stand up. I saw him this summer at the Mothership. Shout out Bruce. Which is cool because you don't know who's popping up, and it was like Shane and Tony.
Yeah.
It was good. And then I've seen Zach Bryan a couple times.
Yeah.
One time I got a real beef. I had a real beef with him though. I wasn't. It was.
You got a beef with Zach Bryan?
Yeah. It was just a one side. He doesn't know about it, but has nothing to do with that Barstool girl he dated. I could care less about that whole drama. Chicken fry.
A lot of people went on the other side on him. They're out.
Yeah, well, a lot of people now are going.
Are they back in?
They're out on both. Is what it seems
I'm
like.
on Zach's team.
Anyway, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care. What I care about is that I went after our kickoff party last year, having seen Morgan Wallen the night before in Dallas, drove back, went to the kickoff, drove to Houston that night. A bunch of the guys that were at the kickoff were like, "You got to come." So called a girl I know, said, "Hey, can you buy us 2 tickets?" Zach Bryan. I just order them. I'm busy. She orders good tickets. We go. Great concert. He doesn't sing Something in the Orange. And I mean, here's the deal with these artists. I get it. Like,
play your jam.
But I hate when singers and performers purposefully don't do, and it's always purpose. You can't accidentally forget.
Right.
Don't do like the song that made people a fan of you. And I mean, I know there were a lot of people that were on Zach Bryan before that, and I knew who he was and kind of liked him, but that made me a fan. And to not play that one, it's like a perfect encore song too. And you come out, you could even, I mean, I'm producing here. You come out, it's quiet, you're dark, and all of a sudden, maybe just you hear the music before the first couple notes, and then you can ramp it up, and it was something else in Revival. But to not play that in Houston in front of that crowd, that pissed me off. Same thing with the Chili Peppers. I went and saw them in Houston, and in a whole concert, and I know that it's different for them because they've got a cajillion songs, and they played other ones that I liked that they didn't play, but I'm like, it's okay. I get it. You can't play for 6 hours. But when they don't play Under the Bridge, come on. You don't have a whole audience sing, I don't ever want to feel like you
You have to
Come on, dude. And I've seen them several times. They've always played it. But to not play that one, that got me.
See, that's why Bad Bunny's the best. He does the hits.
Because he's got like 4 of them.
Are you crazy?
Dude.
The number 1 streamed artist on Spotify behind Taylor? Yeah.
I think
you want to diss. It's a cultural barrier you'll never get. I get it.
I don't. If I listen to it, but like, I just feel like
Reese listens to Bad Bunny.
I do not.
I feel like you're telling me like, oh, the New Kids on the Block are really good, and you should listen to them.
New Kids on the Block had 1 or 2 albums. Bad Bunny's had 7.
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits.
They had 1 or 2 albums.
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits.
You're comparing.
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick.
Yeah.
And I think it's fly when girls stop by for the summer.
Just for that.
You don't even know that song. That group's about like the level of Bad Bunny. But let's keep going.
No, it's time for a break.
You talked to me when Bad Bunny's played at a stadium. That's not soccer, international soccer.
How dare you? Look, and I'm more of a football guy than I'm a soccer guy, but the World Cup's a bigger deal, right?
Yeah, I in the world.
Oh, by the way, Bad Bunny didn't perform at the World Cup.
I do know that.
Anyway, when it comes to your money and your peace of mind, it starts with the right team. Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors is an independent fiduciary firm serving clients across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have 18 professionals, including over 9 CFPs, CFA, and a CPA. Their expertise runs deep. At Paragon, credentials matter, and so does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or call them up 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors. This is pretty funny. We have where'd it go? Russ or Ross? Where is it? Russ. It's Russ. I can't find it. But what did Russ say about? Can we please get the football?
Yeah, Russ said, "Can we please talk about football?"
And you know me, I respond to everybody.
Yeah,
not everybody, but a lot of people. And I was like, dude, we talk 15. He's 71, by the way, so I probably shouldn't dude him, sir. We talk 15 hours a week, and then he goes, at 71 years old, those 9 minutes are very important to me. So that was nice response, Russ. Appreciate you listening, and howdy to you as well. Hey, Billy's not here.
He's not.
So we got 2 minutes. Can you give me a text, something, not SEC Mike related? Give me some kind of vibe, I don't know. I was trying to rhyme.
There were two Aggies that played in last night's Thursday night game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Donovan Wilson, Captain Donovan Wilson, only had one tackle, but he was there. And then Braden Mann, punter for the Eagles, had 3 punts with an average of 48.7 yards, and 2 of them inside the 20. So he was also first punt of the NFL season belongs to Braden Mann.
Awesome stuff. You want to give me a quick reset? You want to give me a quick reset on volleyball from last night?
Just punted Olin Buchanan right into oblivion.
What happened?
Braden Mann punted Olin into oblivion last night.
Oh, from the game.
Yeah, the Aggie volleyball team swept number 21 Utah last night, winning 25-19, 25-23, and 25-18.
In the second set, A&M was dominating, and then Utah went on this huge run. And I think they got it to 23-21, and then A&M finished it out. And it was nice to see them on
second-ranked win already this season, only had 2 all of last year.
Fantastic stuff. Billy, we got 40 seconds, so not really enough time to get into
Jamie Morrison in top 10 volleyball. I mean, it's nice to see them getting off to a hot start early. You know, like he said, he was unable to really get anyone good to agree to come in here and play in the non-conference. I know just from talking to him during the offseason, some of the names of the teams that he tried to get would have been really fun. But to go up and win away from home against Minnesota, perennial power, and then go win at Utah last night, it's good. They're battle tested early. You like to see it. You love to see it. And I think they'll be a SEC contender.
All right, we got to hit a break, but I will read this. This happened last night or yesterday. The NCAA Oversight Committee did vote to support a single transfer portal in January. So, big.
I like that. The target, though, continues to move. Every day it's something. They just want to keep Ross Dellinger employed, which we're happy about.
Yeah, he's good.
Dellinger's the freaking man. He's the best reporter of a sport in any sport, in my opinion. But And they're all different.
And we are back. It is time for the final countdown with maybe Steve and Seth McKinney, presented by La Casa Tequila.
Blending Seth. All
Raised
you see
in
is his
Aggie.
head and arms because it is a maroon out behind us.
Rooted in the SEC.
I'm starting La Casa Tequila. Rooted.
Where's your head then? Huh? Blending hat?
Yeah, my head's blending it. Like, see, I'm really on one about this backdrop. We got to do something. Other than that logo, to me, it looks like the backdrop we had.
What would you recommend?
I don't know. It's not my. It's not.
So
I pay a lot of people to come up with answers to questions that I have.
But I'm just going to ask a question. Do you like the lighter maroon that you kind of see at the bottom? Would you like to see that more?
Maybe.
Maybe it's the dark maroon that you have a problem with, I think.
Maybe so. I think even on podcasts we do, it's too dark. And it's just it's just nothing to it. What I really wish is that in the year since this has been open, they'd have done something with that room to where we can have an alternate podcast view.
It's coming.
Yeah, sure it is.
And meeting over.
Yeah. Where's Steve?
I have no idea where Steve is. Hopefully he's listening to us ridicule him live for being late or absent altogether. But
Probably he's not absent. I talked to him this morning. He was trying to get me in for like a morning.
Maybe he ran out of batteries on his way here or something.
Well, Seth, why don't we start with your thoughts? Both of y'all drive battery-powered cars. So why don't we start with Elon with your thoughts on the game? What was your takeaway?
I thought it was a great first game. I thought that the offense went out there and took what UTSA was giving them, which was the pass.
Did you think that, like, football guy, you're watching it going, they're daring you to beat them throwing and not
That's
running?
what I thought that they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it felt that way. I wasn't, like, breaking down the film. But if they're going to put more guys in the box than what you want, then the best thing to do is to pass the ball. I don't think they went into that game saying, hey, let's only run 3 times in a quarter or whatever it was the first half. I can't remember, or the first quarter. But, like, if they're going to do that, and that was UTSA, to me, that was UTSA's only hope.
Yeah.
And their only game plan was like, hey, we know that they can beat us running. We know that. We got to make them beat us passing.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they took that. I think that's their approach to that game. And we proved it up. And guess what? We did. We took advantage of that. We passed the ball very well, in my opinion. People are still refusing to give Marcel any love in the national media, which is ridiculous. The guy is like, what, 15 totally, number 15 total yard guy of the week, and no love. Still got him at like some kind of crazy low SEC quarterback power rating or whatever.
You just missed the first hour.
But anyways, that was impressive. Now on the other hand, the defense, of course, I think they're going to limit the mistakes that they made. And, I heard, Ratliff say they're easily fixable. And, let's hope, because there were major issues on defense that need to be fixed. So I hope that they're easy. But it came from the field, the position, if you will, the defensive backs. I'm not the defensive guy, but the defensive backfield on the run game was very weak. And that has to be fixed. So I hope it is easily fixable.
Hey, guys.
Steve, how are you, bud?
I'm a little late today, sorry.
Maroon out yourself.
Marooning out, baby.
The blenders. Look on each end, just blending. It's Billy David and the floating head.
The maroon
it's not
background.
Y'all's fault.
It's not y'all's fault.
Can we not change the background?
Oh, goodness.
What are we
We've
doing
already
here?
had a meeting about this live on the air.
Can we have an SEC color background just for a few minutes? Nick? I don't even know if that's possible.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well,
Thoughts on the game?
What are your takeaways?
Thoughts on the game? I mean, I thought, I think UTSA did a nice job of playing us, first of all. I think they had a good game plan and definitely came in and made it tough on us. But we did what we needed to do. I mean, we didn't establish the run, but they didn't really let us run the ball. They were kind of forcing us to throw the ball and beat them throwing the ball. And I thought Marcel did a great job. I really did. I thought pass protection for the most part all day was solid. We were completing passes. He was making nice throws. Guys were – I haven't seen that many yards after a catch in A&M football since like Johnny was here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, the separation we were getting in the secondary, I mean, you just haven't seen that in a while.
And by the way,
that was exciting.
2 unreal low fingertip catches that could have easily been dropped by anybody else besides the 2 guys that caught them.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I know that we shouldn't be talking about low balls caught, but still, that's going to happen from time to time. But and we caught them.
Well, I think that
which is crazy.
That also builds the quarterback's confidence to say, you just, you guys know as athletes, like when you don't feel like you have to be absolutely perfect, you
allows you to be loose and free, and
it's just there. They just showed another.
And we got that's exciting, man. We
got some dudes, man.
It was tremendously exciting to see the receivers come out and ball like they did, and of course, it takes a quarterback to get them a ball, but still, we hadn't seen anything like that in a long time, and that was a lot of fun, and like gives me another level of hope.
I didn't say anything. I just saw you start gyrating. You saw it, Nuño?
I saw it.
He's like, how do I bring this to a close here?
You can't do anything without Billy making fun of you. I'm just going to stand over here like a robot.
But David, and defensively, I would just add that I think that we did some nice things on defense. There is definitely some areas in the run game we got to clean up. There were some fundamental issues.
Sure.
But we got to do a better job tackling in the secondary, clearly. But you're going to see stuff like that in the first game. I don't take first games too much unless you're playing a good opponent. But you're going to get weird looks that you haven't prepared for, you're not necessarily ready for, and it's just kind of how you react to them in game, make those adjustments, which they did after the first half, except for that first run. Which I missed. Me and Seth were trying to make it back up from the Letterman's Lounge.
I was confused.
And Seth's like,
happened.
Look at the score. I'm like, what, they run the kickoff back?
No, I got there and UTSA was kicking off, and I was like, what? Have they not reset the clock? And I was like, why is UTSA kicking off? This is so weird. So I had to ask them, I was like, what? Did they return the kickoff? And I don't know. It was a 75-yard touchdown run. I was like, oh, even worse.
Yeah, that was
tough.
That was a bad feeling because you did, like, when they went into the half and they're up 11, and I'm like, Elko will fix it. They'll make the adjustment. And like you said, it's a first game. I don't know. Well, I do know that defensively, I know they did a ton of stuff that they really didn't even practice. And that's the first game. And they might see some of that again this week against Utah State. But although Utah State did have to put a game on tape that they had to empty, they needed to win that game against UTEP. It was an important one for them. But I don't know what they were doing offensively that would have thrown, but I think, to me, and y'all can, just like you said, Seth, they were selling out to stop the run when A&M had the ball. It felt like a lot of their plays, they would get A&M in a pass-friendly defense or pass-averse defensive look, like 3rd and long a couple times, and they would just run against a nickel or a dime. I was like, he's going to be fine. He's going to fix that at halftime. And then that first play to pop, and it was a mistake by a young DB. But my concern going into the season, and nothing alleviated it on Saturday. It doesn't mean that it has to keep, like you said, teams get better. Teams make massive jumps week to week. First week, a lot of times, is your worst. But just we saw so much of that same thing last year. And here's my concern with it. It's the same players. Like, yes, they can get better. No, they're not guaranteed to. And I'm not talking about like the effort and they're stronger, they're a step quick, but it's just the seeing it, reacting. Are you slow to react? Do you revert to bad habits like getting out leveraged on the outside? Do your eyes get caught in the back? Like, so it's the same players. When one of your young players drifts and runs out of pre-snap, what are you supposed to do of the other 10 guys on the field? No one noticed that and said, hey, I remember years ago, two instances. One was Rich Cody when they played Colorado in '95. Rich always tells the story. He got thrown into action. You were in that game in place of Dennis Allen. And he said Dat was out there literally saying, move up 3 steps, move over, go. They're going to do this. And he's like, I didn't even want to listen to him because it was going against what Coach Bennett or whoever it was in '95 wanted us to do. But I would just reluctantly do it, and he was right every time. And another story was when Von Miller tells it, how Michael Hodges, like, every play that season was like telling him where to shade, where to move, what to do, what the offense was going to do. And when I see something like that on that first play, it makes me go, who on the defense is the guy that or it should be like a group of them going, what are you doing? Like, you know, like, so
that's also the challenge,
me.
though. What you're saying is true, but then it comes back to that's the first game.
Yeah,
you know, they probably were not prepared for that. Hadn't seen the film for that, so you know it happens. But time to clean it up. Let's not let it happen again.
I'm hopeful. I left hopeful. I didn't leave panicking about that game, and I hope that the vast majority of our fans aren't panicked about it.
Well, I don't think
it wasn't great with the running game, defensive running game, but every other aspect was very impressive, and I feel like we can get that part of our defense fixed.
I think they can fix it for sure. It's just I'm not going to feel good. I'm not going to feel good about it until they
after Notre Dame
do a good job next weekend in South Bend, and maybe even if you told me if they could do a good job against them and Auburn, because then I would say they stopped what I would consider like a more in-your-face downhill power attack of Notre Dame and a spread you out tempo type thing at Hugh Freeze and Ole Miss. Auburn. I would feel amazing then. I'm just not going to feel that way now. What I do feel amazing about is what y'all talked about. We all are careful what to put into a first game analysis, but obvious is obvious, and it is very obvious A&M has, like you said, Seth, the type playmakers at receiver, like multiple, better than we've seen in a long time. And I said the other day, you go back to like Reynolds and Kirk, and then before that, and different types. And then before that, you have to go back Evans and Swope and that crew. So, and it doesn't sound like long, but that's like
pretty good while.
8 and 12 years ago. Yep. And these guys are different too.
They are.
And you haven't seen Bethel Roman yet, and I think you will Saturday where he gets involved. He can do the same. He's the same type.
Why haven't we seen him yet? I mean, he played like 56 snaps.
Well, he caught what, one pass?
That's what I'm saying. Like he was out there 56 snaps, no targets or what?
Sounds like a panic.
Come on, guys.
Panic. Oh, there we go. No, but also what's
maybe for a guy that hardly played, maybe them doing different things defensively, maybe it affected him more than it did some other guys in terms of like the post snap. I'm just coming up with something there.
But the what also is impressive, and I was impressed with, were my sleepers from last week, the tight end position. Like, I mean, we've got a lot of guys with a lot of talent on that field, a lot of weapons, including the running backs who weren't able to display what they can do last week. I mean, I'm excited, man. Like, especially offensively.
It just also adds such a dynamic piece to your offense when you get the tight ends involved like that. It forces them to cover the entire field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nice to have guys that can make plays at that.
And I think the other thing, when you talk about covering the entire field, it's not just 50, 53.5 yards wide. It's 100 yards that way.
Yeah.
And when you're only using 15 of those yards, it gets real easy, not just to defend it, but to stop the run. Watch. They will.
That's a great
You will
point.
see them go over the top more and more often. I know they missed their big hit. Marcel with one of his couple bad throws on the whole night.
Just a Hail Mary throw.
He's just like, wow. He's wide open.
He was getting tired of people bitching about his arm strength from practice freaking warm-up videos that everybody wanted to get clicks off of. Engagement farming. This is like they're lobbing balls down the field, and everybody's like, I think he was like, you know what? I'm airing this son of a bitch
So, guys, from a running game perspective, when a team doesn't allow you to run, should you still be able to establish that run regardless if you have this level of talent?
I mean,
how many tries?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what's having the conversation.
I guess the conversation would be, why would you do that? I mean, like, I don't understand why there are times that you definitely have to run the ball. You have to do it to get
next weekend. We're going to run into some of those times.
And so And then there are times where you can pick them apart, passing the ball like we did. And did I want us to run the ball? Yeah, but not at the expense of, not taking advantage of what UTSA was, allowing us to do passing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to equate that. I'm not worked up about that at all. I mean, I think that I have no doubt. Let's just put it that way. I have no doubt that we can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the last thing on my mind about Texas A&M football is our ability to go out there and get the yards that we need to get running the ball at all.
And I would just add that, as an offensive lineman, there's nothing more frustrating than being in a game where the coordinator continues to call plays into a stacked box.
That's true.
And expecting you to block, 8 guys with 7 people. It's just that's frustrating. So, take what the defense gives you. There's going to be defenses we're going to play maybe this week, for sure Notre Dame, that are going to force us to be balanced. So we'll get a chance to run the ball. I'm not worried about that.
What do you think of the line overall?
I thought they played really well, especially in pass protection. I thought pass protection was really good. The tackles did a nice job. There was a few sloppy moments, especially early on. But credit to them. They were rotating some guys around, moving some guys around. So you weren't playing with the same 5 guys the entire game. So there's going to be little things here and there, but overall, I've seen a lot worse performances out of an O-line in game 1. This one, to me, was pretty good for a first game.
Yeah, that was my assessment exactly. I mean, the early miscues it looked like, but they corrected that real quick and had a very efficient game moving on.
All right, we'll hit a break here. Right now, Rollo Insurance Group, they offer a comprehensive consultation for businesses of all sizes with a particular expertise in family-owned operations. Their agents provide objective guidance on liability, on property, workers' comp, and specialized coverage. Every business faces unique risk, and from the industry-specific liabilities to location-based hazards, from Rollo's business specialists take time to understand your operation and their vulnerabilities and growth plans. They'll create a protection strategy that scales with your company, preventing gaps in your coverage that threaten everything you've built. As your business evolves, Rollo agents become a valuable resource for risk management advice beyond just your insurance policy. Find your dedicated business insurance partner at rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, or call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That's 888-44-ROLLO. It is Rollo Insurance. And we're back. It is the final countdown presented by La Casa Tequila. Guys, I don't know if you've paid any attention to some of the players on Utah State, but their quarterback, you might know his name, Bryson Barnes. He was the backup.
Yes, I do know the backup quarterback from BYU, David.
Actually, Utah.
I didn't know that, so good on you, Steve.
He was the backup quarterback at Utah. And
it was Utah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
when Cam Rising was
I knew
there.
it was one of those Mormon schools.
Yeah,
he beat.
Just kidding.
This guy.
When Cam Rising wasn't there, he came in, and which was the game that he won to start the season a couple years ago.
Didn't he go in like a Rose Bowl or something?
No, that's Cam Rising.
But he's been okay. He's been a little inconsistent. He can run, he can pass.
I think they've got a solid quarterback for that level, and they got a solid running back for that level.
Solid tight end for that level.
I mean, I heard
Solid
you. I heard
O-line
you.
for that level.
I don't know if you can say that word. It starts with a G. Heard you, comparing that tight end to the guy at Bowling Green last year. It was like a second round pick.
Vantage Jr.
Because
of what he did here.
You didn't remember the name. I heard it this morning. Y'all had to ask for the research. And Olin fact checked you and said it was a lob ball. He got 14 seconds. I was listening. I support your show.
Do you? I think you just do the receipts thing. That's what you do. Just keep writing down receipts.
No, I don't.
He does that as well.
Oh my, yeah, big receipt keeper. This guy.
Absolutely not.
It's like the George Costanza wallet.
I didn't even
Big freaking receipts.
I didn't even comment that you lost to one of those quote unquote Mormon schools when you played here.
See, there we go. He dug that out of the bottom of the receipt.
And not only that, but you lost to freaking Steve Sarkisian.
In our defense, the offense did put up like 50 points. Okay, so
37.
No, close.
It was
close
41-30.
enough.
And you had 200-yard rushers in that game. You were credited with a carry. I noticed recently because I was debating. I was talking about Brandon Stewart had a great game. That was his debut
It was.
in an A&M uniform. He had a great game, and I said I think 2 running backs went over 100. It was Sir Parker and Eric Bernard. Aaron Oliver had a long touchdown catch, and I looked to see if both of them went over 100.
Yeah.
And there I see it on the carries. It says Steve McKinney.
One for -3.
Yeah, so you recovered a fumble, I guess.
Oh, baby, I took off. I was like, man, I'm scoring.
Oh, you ran in that one?
Oh, yeah, I tried to pick it up and run with it.
Any yards?
I can't remember.
I think it might have been like 4 yards.
Yeah, I got a few. I think I got a few positive yards.
You forget, Steve was a skilled position player in high school.
I did, and then I got a touchdown the very next week.
Yeah.
Against Ulala.
Another
Another
shining moment. Yeah.
But he had to send this video. This guy, Politic.
We did this on air.
Oh, we did. Okay, my bad.
We had Brandon Stewart call in and we broke the news to him that Steve took a touchdown away from him.
Yeah,
I remember that, yeah.
He was heartbroken,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Never mind. I forgot about that.
He literally 20 years later politicking and lobbied to get that stat officially
I'm
changed.
like, how did I not get credit for this touchdown? They're just going to give it to Brandon when I earned it?
I like the pettiness of it. I love it, actually.
It was quite petty.
Okay, so we talked about some of the issues tackling. Did you guys come away impressed from what you saw from the secondary?
Like doing the job of covering the ball.
They were
coverage. Yes,
tighter,
their
much
coverage
tighter.
was good. Like I'm not going over here complaining about that. They had one aspect of the game, which was the running game, that they didn't look good in, but they did look good in what they're paid to do, which is cover people. So I was impressed with that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree a whole lot with that. I mean, I think they did cover pretty well, but we got to tackle better.
Right.
You know, they do get paid for that too.
Part of the job.
We got to do a better job in the secondary of making plays in the
No one was over here paying Deion Sanders for his tackling ability.
Yeah, well, if you're a safety, you better be able to tackle.
Speaking of safeties, what would make me feel good this week is to see number 25 be impactful. Mm-hmm. Dalton Brooks needs to make a big jump, and Reese Nygren's over there nodding his head because it's from his area.
Yep.
Dalton Brooks from Shiner, Reese over there in LaGrange.
Shiner.
But I think his upside is being an NFL safety, and athletically he's in the high percentile on this football team. And last year he got his feet wet as a starter. So there were the understandable ups and downs and growing pains. And
he was out last week?
Yeah, he didn't suit up last week. So getting him back, I think, is big. But I want to feel like it's really significant. Like, I want to see him flying around, maybe get an interception, and like you said, Seth, like, stick his nose in there and be a big part of the run defense, because I do think he's the most instinctive that they've got back there in terms of as a tackler, and they need it.
It's a huge, impactful position too when you've got a guy that can do that, both of those things.
Yeah,
running game, defense, and passing game. I mean, I know I'm about to talk about two of the best, but look at Palomalu and Ed Reed. You know what I mean? Those are guys that you just don't ever discount where they're at on the football field at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, and you look at, I mean, what Mike Elko, he didn't have Palomalu and Reed by any stretch, but as time went on, Leon O'Neal got better and better, but he had Damani, who's starting in the NFL. He had Leon, and then you brought in Antonio Johnson, who was a total stud. And then prior to that, Sumlin had
Justin Evans,
Armani Watts, Justin Evans, and Donovan Wilson, who's was a captain last night for the Cowboys. I mean, like, there's been a nice run of safeties for a good chunk of this SEC era. And I think Dalton Brooks is the guy to me, even though I see a real improved player in Ratcliffe, and I think he had a good game last week. But Dalton, to me, is the guy that has, like, that type of upside, and we need to see
it. That would be very helpful.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back on TexAgs Live, on the final countdown that is brought to you by La Casa Tequila, we will do the Freak of the Week and the Sleeper of the Week. That's all coming up next. Right now, we're talking about the Association of Former Students. If your organization or business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, you need to check out the Association of Former Students. They bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. Such events like Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, and The Gathering. They welcome tens of thousands of guests, and there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees. And these events offer title sponsorship naming, on-site presence, activation, recognition in social media posts, and much, much more. There's also advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter, which are seen by over 230,000 people. So if your business is ready to engage with other Aggies, then you need to reach out to the Association of Former Students, who's been a part of the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com. Unflappable here at the Association of Former Students. Not bad.
Oh, there we go. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Eggland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com and your favorites are on their way. Guys, just before we get into Freak of the Week and the Sleeper of the Week, is there anything that can happen this week at all that would make you feel better for Notre Dame?
Better? Yeah. Shutting down the run, that would make me feel a lot better.
I mentioned one of mine was see an impactful game from Dalton Brooks, maybe. So that was one. Running the hell out of the ball.
The hell out of it, you say?
Yeah, the hell you say. But I think running the hell out of it, like, I'm not saying I don't want them to I want them to continue to work on this passing game and let these weapons and this quarterback get into a rhythm with his weapons. So I want balance this week, but I mean, they ran it, a dozen times last week? If they run it 25 times this week, I want to see, a handful of explosive, 12, 15-yard plus runs.
It would be exciting to see 5+ yard average on when we hand the ball off. I don't care.
Well, I would
5 yard average,
or more, or whatever.
That would be
That'd
nice.
be great. But I don't think it's going to happen, or especially with Le'Veon. I mean, why would you do that when you didn't last week?
But you've got four other guys.
Yeah,
right now.
I know that, and I do know that for sure. But I think that them going out and playing a solid game defensively would give me more hope.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that was the only thing I left last week.
To be honest,
was just that was obviously,
You lost a lot of hope last week.
No, I didn't lose a lot of hope. Not at all. It was just that was the only thing that was very, very frustrating.
To be honest, I would. I just remembered Seth throwing a crying fit in high school, junior high, during one of your games where they had to carry him out of the stands. It was one of your games, and he was like,
he was losing it.
Yeah, they had to, your dad and them had to walk him out, or your mom had to carry him out.
He gets passionate.
I love that you're not denying that. I just made that up.
You probably
I completely made that up.
I know that you made it up, Billy. I know that you did.
Sounds like something I would have done.
I think it really.
It was great. I was over here picturing myself. What's funny is I can totally remember.
I think we've all done that.
This is so funny. Is I can remember I was in 6th grade or something, and Steve was in 9th grade, and we were going real far into the playoffs in Centerville, and I don't know who we were playing, Troop or somebody like that, and I can just remember as a kid just going crazy, and we lost that game, and I probably was just bawling my eyes.
So distraught. Yes.
Like I said, I think any A&M fan that's done this long enough has left the stadium in a fit, crying. No, but what Seth was saying, I'd love to see them do what they did in the second half Saturday. I think that's lost on all of us. I mentioned this earlier in the week. They had an egregious formation bust on the first play. And look, other guys should have tackled him too, by the way. You got 10 other guys out there. You make a tackle, but it was a formation, pre-snap, complete blowout, and it was a 75-yard run. Had they tackled him 5, 6, 7, 8-yard run, you probably went, not counting that garbage drive against a bunch of true freshmen playing for the first. You pitched really the perfect,
which sucked, by the way, the backdoor cover. That was brutal.
You pitched the perfect second half. You would have they would have been probably 7. They had 6 straight punts after that, 5 3-and-outs. You probably would have had second half, 7 straight punts, garbage time drive. We would have been sitting here going, the conversation would just have felt much different. The statistics would have looked, this guy ran for 95 yards in the first half. He ran for 5 in the second.
But I think that's
so you still have to kind of look at it that way.
The rational person would look at that and not be panicking. So hopefully the majority of us are that.
So I think you're right. I think it's 100% for me, almost 100%. Just look like there's no confusion on defense and shut this team down.
time for the Freak of the Week.
It's the Freak of the Week. It wasn't near as good as last week.
Last week was fantastic.
Well,
Hey.
We're
All right.
going to bring it for Notre Dame, though.
Steve, give me the Freak of the Week.
Oh, my Freak of the Week is going to be, who Seth's already discounted as giving him too many runs, is Le'Veon Moss. Because I think this will be kind of his, not I want to say coming out party.
I'm back. I want you to know that.
Yeah. I'm going to get more than 3 carries this week.
Okay.
I don't know what that number looks like. I'm going to say more than 5, maybe less than 10.
Okay.
But I think he's going to get at least somewhere in that, 8 range.
So he's your Freak of the Week with 8 carries.
Yeah.
So that tells me then you think he's going to bust one.
80 yards.
Well, what I'm going to say is that on those 8 carries,
You're gonna feel it.
He's going to feel it.
Yeah.
He's going to average more than 5 yards a carry. That's what I'm feeling this week from Le'Veon Moss.
I like it. That'd be great.
I mean, dude, when you're coming back off a major injury like that, that first game is kind of like, I'm about 90% sure I can do this.
Yeah, you got to mentally.
Yeah. And then
Now
after
he
that,
knows.
you're like,
Now he
dude,
knows.
I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Le'Veon last week did average 6 yards a carry, but it was, again,
So
only
Steve
3
wants
carries.
him to go down.
I'm projecting to go worse this week. All right, we'll go 7. 7 yards a
My
carry.
Freak of the Week is going to be on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to go with Cassius Howell. I'm excited to see him play. I think that we'll handle the Utah State handedly. Is that the word? I don't know. Anyways, that there'll be a lot of pass rush opportunities for him, and I think he's going to wreak havoc over there.
They gave up 6 sacks last week to UTEP. So
Yeah,
there you go.
even more of a reason. I didn't even know that.
6 to UTEP.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still have a hard time believing they're going to play it the same way they did UTEP.
I agree with you.
I mean, I'm just saying I think they're going to be scared of Cassius Howell and just
Get
do
rid of the
it.
ball.
Oh, yeah.
You hear? We
ball's
talked
coming
about
out.
this week. Jeff Traylor's like, we did a conventional play action drop back 1 snap in that game, and he got sacked.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I remember.
So
the
these
I was like,
type
yeah.
teams are like,
Nah.
It is
so.
what it
But
is.
I think I picked Cassius as my Freak of the Week last week. So this week, I'm going to go with. You know what? Just because Steve's already grumpy and thinks that, where is he? Where the hell is he then? We haven't seen him yet. I'm going to go Ashton Bethel-Roman.
ABR.
And I think he's going to be a guy that has a big game tomorrow.
I hope so. I mean,
including one long, like a big gainer for a touchdown.
How exciting would that be when you've already seen that you for sure got 2 dudes
We for sure have 3.
and
but-
Bussy,
Yeah.
and if you can add this guy,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Ashton.
Bethel
You
Roman.
combine, Athel.
That's
Roman.
what I'm supposed to say.
ABR. That's what
Yeah,
we'll
do that.
refer
I'm going to
to
make it easy. Marcel Reed for me. I was going to think Amari, but since you took Le'Veon.
Amari, but the reason I couldn't decide between Amari and Ruben, like who's going to get the more touches. But
Amari, I feel like will get them more touches. That's just my hunch. All right. Now
Amari he goes in the game the other day. What's he do? 15-yard run, called back, but just immediately.
He looked good, which he should. I mean, he's a veteran running back.
Yeah.
time for the Sleeper of the Week, presented by the Sleep Station. Go see Jared McLeod and ask about the Tempur-Pedic or Purple mattress in the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey and in front of the Lowe's on William D. Fitch and Highway 6. The website is thesleepstation.com. Who's your sleeper, Seth?
Yeah, I'm going to take some liberty with this, and I hope my guys went to Jared.
Taking a whole position.
Bought a new mattress and come to the game more rested than they did last week. But I'm going to pick a whole position,
of course,
of the DBs, man, on the running game, on the running side of the defense, if you will. That's who I'm picking. I think that they're going to sleep up nicely and come in well rested and improve.
That's a great try to tie in with the sleep number.
That's why we're here.
I think I'm going to go with a little bit different take, but it is on the defensive side of the ball. I think no, I did pick DJ Hicks to be my freak of the week last week.
Yeah, you did.
Which I'm still expecting more from him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as far as my sleeper of the week, I mean it's not really a sleeper, but the way to me Terry York is the guy that has to be the dat win of this defense. He has to be the guy to step up and make guys right and make plays. And he did. He made a lot of nice tackles in the game. I mean, I just want to see him take that next step to become just the total captain of that defense. That's what we need at middle linebacker,
Right.
you know.
Kind of an
He may
interesting
be that guy.
Interesting pick as a sleeper. Wouldn't you say? He's the team captain. Like, got some all confidence.
We've totally butchered the sleeper.
Did he lead him in tackles last
Seth's
week?
just picking a whole position group and he thinks they're going to sleep well on Jared.
I'm still learning this roster. Yes.
I slept well last night on my Tempur-Pedic.
Good.
From the sleep station.
By the way, Torian did lead the team in tackles last
Yeah,
week.
with 10.
Yeah.
All right, well, he ain't sleeping, but whatever.
My sleeper of the week.
It's a good
you
pick,
know.
though, Steve. We appreciate it.
My sleeper of the week might actually be a sleeper, and I think I'm going to go with an interception for now it's Julio Humphrey.
He changed it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with interception for Julio Humphrey from y'all's neck of the woods down there in the Clear Lake region.
Did he go to Clear Lake?
No, but
He went to G-ball or?
no. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I know his
Clear
dad played.
Springs,
His dad played at Galveston Ball. I played against
Look
his
him
dad.
up. Look him up. Did you
John
really?
Humphrey, yeah, he was a running
Oh,
back
yeah, I
at
remember
Galveston
him.
Ball. He was a good player too.
I remember John.
Clear Lake High School.
What?
Clear Lake High School.
Yeah,
wow.
see,
Falcon.
his
I thought
dad
it
was
Clear
like,
Springs.
"We're getting out of Galveston. We're going to Clear Lake."
Yeah, well, it got him to Georgia and now A&M, and I think it's going to get him an interception on Saturday.
Let's do it.
Him and Des Ricks, I think, could really shore up that other cornerback spot. You know, that was to me one of the bright spots, and it's what you saw all through fall camp. I said that Humphrey was a guy that was really coming on in the second half of fall camp, and those two plus Will Lee, I think, give A&M a really nice look there. And Chappelle, damn, I almost flipped to Chappelle. Maybe he gets a pick on something over the middle, but I'm going to stick with Humphrey.
It's nice to have four dudes though.
Yeah,
at that position.
How about Amari Nyblack as a sleeper?
There we go.
Yeah,
I like it.
good one.
I could see him getting a
He's
touchdown.
a good-looking player, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Right.
And he did. He almost scored on that one. His elbow hit the ground. He kind of kept his feet.
You know,
Thought
when he got up and ran from that, he looked like some kind of like a show horse. Just like the way he pranced around. I was like, God, he just looks so like smooth when he's running.
He's a freak.
Speaking of clips,
freak
I want a clip of that, like a gif of that.
All right. When we come back, Pick 6 brought to you by Prize Picks next on TexAgs Live. All right, so it's the final countdown presented by La Casa Tequila.
good.
Let's just make fun of people this segment.
By the way, let me just say something about La Casa Tequila. Really good. I like the Blanco and the Reposado. If you happen to be in Yellowstone, you have a run-in with a really big bear, you might need like a glass of tequila after. By the way, people in the comments, like, how big is the bear getting? Nick, I'm going to send you this picture right now, and I think you need to post this and let people see how big this bear actually is. So
people were asking?
Yeah, they're saying the bear gets bigger and bigger. You know, as in like,
I love it.
And I'm like, it's pretty freaking.
I love
big
that we're
bear.
still talking about this. It was great. It was a great bear sighting.
Seth, we're going to keep
Billy
talking
did
about it.
And Billy did it.
How long did you guys get to look at it? Seth ran you off.
Oh, goodness. Hey, speaking of
30
Johnny
seconds.
Topper over here, he's lying as usual. He's about to lie. Let's hear it.
So
How
we're
long
about to
did he
go.
stay?
We're about to go to a little break and do the overtime, aren't we? Do you want to start the picks?
Let's do some picks.
3 minutes.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll
Let's hear it.
we'll do half the picks.
Half the picks?
This just needs to become a whole new segment.
Yeah.
Picks, because
By
we're
the
never
way,
on time.
TexAgs Overtime, presented by the Rogue Shop, will come on after this on TexAgs.com. You have to be a premium subscriber. All right, let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center, and that's where we find Mr. Nygren.
The first game, the return of the border war, which is Missouri hosting Kansas at 2:30 on Saturday. Missouri is 6.5-point favorites.
This is at Missouri?
This is at Missouri.
6.5? Give me Kansas. I'll take
What?
Kansas.
All right. Give me Missouri. I'll
Okay,
take
who's their
Missouri.
starting quarterback, Seth?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. That's why I'm not
All
picking
Me too. I'm just saying, all I see is
Pribula.
Kansas.
Pribula.
But who's the Kansas quarterback?
Jalen
Dave.
Daniels.
There we go.
Stud.
Legit.
Billy, you want to pick a game?
I'm going to pick.
Or do you really want to find the bear?
Yeah, I want to find the bear, but I'm going to pick. I'm going Kansas to cover in that. I feel like I almost am feeling an upset there, but I'm not. I got a text from one of my Missouri friends during the break that may or may not be here in College
just
Station
insider
now.
information. So I
No,
hope
they
you
just
tell us.
convinced me. They just convinced me that Missouri. This has been something Missouri's been looking forward to this game and like obsessed with it for like 2 years now. And it's at home, and that is a bitter rivalry.
You're
border war.
emboldening my pick.
So I'm going to go with, but I'm going with Kansas to cover, but Missouri to win. Kansas to cover, 6.5. I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm actually looking forward to that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
A couple of SEC games that I'm really looking forward to, just to kind of learn about some of these teams: Florida, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Missouri. I think we'll learn a little bit about all of them.
Mr. Nygren, we're going to do, I guess we have 40 seconds. Should we do a game?
We can.
Let's do it.
The second game up, Mississippi State host number 12 Arizona State at 6:30 on Saturday. Arizona State is 6.5-point favorites.
40 seconds.
I'll do this. Arizona State. I'm gonna take them. I don't feel that Mississippi State has it this year. So
How favored are they?
6.5.
6.5.
I am going with
Mississippi State, dude.
Mississippi State to cover. They might win that game.
Yeah, I'm calling for them to cover too. You don't just walk into Start Vegas and walk out with a cover. That doesn't happen.
Good. Separation Saturday once again.
Hey, you did pick Texas last week. That was good. All right, that's it for TexAgs Live. Coming up next on TexAgs.com, you can watch the Overtime show brought to you by the Rogue Shop. Thanks so much for watching. See you there. TexAgs Overtime presented by the Rogue Shop. If you're having issues sleeping or staying asleep, Rogue Shop's THC and CBD gummies can and will help you put you to sleep. Rogue Shop's cannabis is also great for those chronic with pain and anxiety. Check out our website, rogueshop.com, for more information. Use the code TexAgs for 10% off of anything on the website. By the way, it is Pick 6, brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. We've already done 2 games because that's how we operate. We kind of break it up. And we go back.
I believe Nick's he can do them whenever they're ready, but he's got some pictures as we do the picks.
The bear community.
Steve confirmed it was a big bear, and Steve hunts bears.